everybody, it's Dusti Martin with the Martin Group at Platinum Living Realty, dropping in to give you your monthly market update for the city of Scottsdale. It is January 6th, 2023. So grab a snack, hit the subscribe button, buckle up, let's go. All right, so let's just get right into it. Our active listings are up 209% over this time last year, and our sold listings are only down 51% over this time last year. Our median price per square foot is actually down 1% over this time last year. So those of you who have been waiting for over a decade for us to have a correction in our market, it's finally here. The good news is so far it's not that bad, especially when you consider what the corrections looked like in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think the very bottom of the market was very, very early 2011 when we were talking about the last housing bubble and the Great Recession and the things that caused the recession. So this is definitely different. And we also have a lot more safeguards in place to prevent that from hopefully happening again. So our median price per square foot in Scottsdale is sitting at just over $365 a square foot. However, keep in mind though, this is also very location specific. There are certain zip codes in our market that are actually up 11% over this time last year. So overall, the whole city is down by 1%, but I think that also has a lot to do with the average desirability or non-desirability or age of homes or size of homes or just where things happen to be and where people generally want to be when it comes to Scottsdale. So it really is location and zip code and neighborhood specific. So if you're looking to sell your home or even buy a home, make sure you get with somebody who knows how to calculate the supply and demand and how much things have moved in one way or another in the specific area you're looking to buy or sell, because it is not all the same. So in other words, too, if there are some areas that are up 11%, and to be honest, I didn't look at every single zip code in Scottsdale individually. I just happened to look at the ones I work the most, and I noticed some of them were up a whole lot. But that also means that to get to a negative 1% to even that out, we've got to have some that are down a lot. So I'm not sure where those pockets are right now. I haven't figured that part out yet, mostly because I haven't been dealing in a zip code that isn't continuing to elevate in its price per square foot. But that doesn't mean they're out there. Statistically, they must exist somewhere. I'm guessing maybe further south, closer to Tempe. I don't know. That would just be my guess. Our months of supply, though, is up a lot, 589.8% over this time last year. And we are currently sitting, with all that said, at 4.23 months of supply. With all of that going on, we're still just a hair outside of seller's market territory, which isn't a bad place to be. But our median days on market is also way up, 126%, but we're still sitting at 68 days on market. So that tells me if the home is priced appropriately, and I say this, I feel like I say this every month for I don't know how long. If the home is priced and marketed appropriately, it will sell rather fast in about 68 days. Subtract 30 just for the sake of how long it takes to close a loan, and you're left with about 38 days, 3 or 4 weeks. So in the grand scheme of things, that's really not a long time. Remember, in an even stable market, we should be seeing about 90 days on market with 6 months worth of inventory. And to be honest, we just don't have that much inventory until we get to the luxury market. So take a quick break. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, grab your drink, take a break, stretch your legs, and then we'll get into the supply and demand by price point. All right, so like I said, not all price points are the same. And overall for the city, we are at 4.24 months of supply, or just outside of a seller's market. Not quite even, but either way. When we look at the $0 to $100,000 price point, we don't have any data, only because there is only one home in all of Scottsdale that was available and it didn't sell. And so therefore we have nothing to calculate. For all we know, maybe it's ugly, maybe it's old, maybe it needs a lot of work, or maybe it came on the market at the very end of the market and there wasn't time for it to sell. Who knows? Our $100,000 to $200,000 price range only had 4 new homes come on the market, but 5 sold. So we are actually less than a 1-month supply of inventory in that market. So still white hot sellers market in that price range, if you can find a property in that price range. Our $200,000 to $300,000 price range, we're at 2.89 months of supply. That's about the time you start to see multiple offers, whether it's maybe just 2, maybe 3. And it really will depend on the desirability of the home and the neighborhood and its price point as well. And when I say price point, I don't mean just between 200 and 300,000. I mean in relative comparison to the other homes in the same neighborhood that are also on the market. And if it's the prettiest gem and it's priced right, you're probably going to make some money there. Then we're looking at our $300,000 to $500,000 price range. We are at 2.92 months of supply, still a very strong seller's market. You're probably likely only to have that 1 or 2, maybe 3 in a rare scenario offers. Then in the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, we're at 3.23. So 3 months and a week worth of inventory if nothing new came on the market. Again, seller's market territory, but you're going to be looking for that one good solid offer. It probably won't even be for list price. It's probably most likely to be 98, 99% of list price and maybe even ask for concessions. Our $700,000 to $1 million price point is also still in seller's market territory at 3.87 months of supply. So again, still less than 4 months of inventory, which is still a seller's market for that price point. However, it's not the type of seller's market that we saw those last 2 years where everything was on steroids and everybody waived everything. You're going to look for that one solid offer, and it's going to happen in a reasonable amount of time. You're also going to still see some negotiations. You're not going to see list price offers. You will see clean offers, but you won't see people waiving inspections, waiving appraisals, all of that crazy stuff that was happening the last 2 years. So if you were hoping to get that, chances are that won't happen. Then we're going to drop down to the $1 to $3 million price range. And this is increasingly becoming where the vast majority of homes get listed in Scottsdale. For example, we had a lot of homes, about over 500 homes just in Scottsdale come on the market last month in this price range, and only 96 of them sold. So we're seeing a lot more inventory. We're down in the 700 to a million price range. There's only 329 that came on the market. So at the rate they're coming on the market is much, much higher. So our months of supply for the $1 to $3 million mark is 5.43. Very close to an even stable market. You really do have to go the extra mile to market, to advertise, and to make sure the home is staged and photographed and videoed appropriately, and that you're not just relying on the MLS to sell the home, but also that it is priced really well in comparison to the other homes. On average, though, that price point should be staying pretty stable. And when I mean stable by not a ton of pressure up or down by dollars per square feet. So if your neighbor had a home that sold for $1 million and you have an identical model and they have the same updates, you're probably not going to get more than they did. You'll probably get the $1 million and not a penny more. Then we get to our $3 million mark. And this isn't our bread and butter. This is more like our entry $300,000 to $500,000 entry level when it comes to the amount of homes in that price range. However, when you look at the demand for that price range, it's actually very low, mostly because it's over $3 million and not everybody in America can afford it. So you're actually looking at 10.88 months of supply in the $3 million and over price range in the city of Scottsdale. That is a buyer's market. So you really have to be aggressive with your pricing strategy and do not expect to get even the same amount of money that your neighbor got 6 months ago. You're going to get less. That's just how it is. And this is likely where you are seeing the homes that I said earlier in the video that we're going to account somehow for adjusting and pulling the average price per square foot down year over year. It's probably happening in this category because this is the only category that A, has a huge price point, has a lot of volume and not a lot of demand, and is in buyer market territory, and therefore is going to be pulling prices slightly downward. Now that may change when numbers come out in February, because right now we're gearing up for the Phoenix Open and the Super Bowl and Barrett-Jackson. So all of our heavy hitters are coming into town right now. I've set more appointments towards the end of December and the first week of January than all of October and November are combined, I think. And so, and with the caveat, like I said, it's the heavy hitters coming. It's the 4 million, the 2 million buyers. Those buyers are the ones that are blowing up my phone right now. Not so much at the lower end, but I think also that's because the higher price point buyers in our market tend to be from somewhere else. If you have any questions about what your home would sell for in today's market, or if you have any questions about buying in Scottsdale, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 or visit my website at DustiMartinRealtor.com.